त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव बन्धुश्च सखा त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव सर्वं मम देवदेव। श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तिसुदेशिकेन्द्रं द्वैपायनं सूत्रकृतं मुनीन्द्रं श्रीशङ्करं भाष्यकृतं यतीन्द्रं मद्देशिकञ्चापि नमामि विद्यै। ओम नमो ब्रह्मादिभ्यो ब्रह्मविद्यासम्प्रदायकर्तृभ्यो वंशऋषिभ्यो महद्भ्यो नमो गुरुभ्यः। सर्वोपप्लवरहितप्रज्ञानगणः प्रत्यगर्तो ब्रह्मैवाहमस्मि। ओम पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवत्वेषिणीम्। नमोऽस्तु ते व्यासविशालबुद्धे पुल्लारविन्दाय तपत्रनेत्र येन त्वया भारततैलपूर्णः प्रज्वालितो ज्ञानमयः प्रदीपः प्रपन्नपारिजाताय तोत्रवेत्रैकपाणये ज्ञानमुद्राय कृष्णाय गीतामृतदुहे नमः। सर्वोपनिषदो गावो दोग्धा गोपालनन्दनः पार्थो वत्ससुधीर्भोक्ता दुग्धं गीतामृतं महत्। वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं। भीष्मद्रोणतटा जयद्रथजला गान्धारनीलोत्पला शल्यग्राहवती कृपेण वहनी कर्णेन वेलाकुला। अश्वत्थामविकर्णघोरमकरा दुर्योधनावर्तिनी सोत्तीर्णाः खलु पाण्डवैरणनदी कैवर्तकः केशवः। पाराशर्यवचः सरोजममलं गीतार्थगण्डोत्कटं नानाख्यानककेसरं हरिकथा सम्बोधनाबोधितं। लोके सज्जनषट्पदैरहरः पेपीयमानं मुदा भूयाद्भारतपङ्कजं कलिमल प्रध्वंसिन श्रेयसे। मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवं। यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्ररुद्रमरुतः स्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैः गायन्ति यं सामगाः। ध्यानावस्थितगतद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनः यस्यान्तं न विदुःसुरासुरगणा देवाय तस्मै नमः। ओम कृष्णाय परमात्मने नमः। Pranams everyone. We are joining after a short break, few weeks. We are doing the first chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Basically, that's when the Mahabharata scene is set, and then before Bhagavan actually starts doing the Gita Upadesha, the activities that happened before that are all well explained. So here in the first chapter, initially it started with actually Dhritarashtra asking Sanjaya what happened on the first day of the war, and Sanjaya starting to explain what had happened on the first day. And he started with Duryodhana. Duryodhana had gone to Drona and had started sort of venting out that the strength of Kaurava army is not as much as that of the Pandava army. Although numerically Pandava army was less in number. Drona saw that there is a problem with Duryodhana. His fear is actually very contagious and it could actually influence the other warriors. So Drona was giving a stare to Duryodhana, after which Bhishma picked up his conch and started blowing it. This happened in Sloka number 12. So in Sloka 12, that's when Bhishma basically picked up, he sounded a lion-like roar, Simhanadam, and then he blew the conch, Dadmau Shankam. And there, after immediately, the conches, the kettle drums, and all those trumpets, drums were all beaten by the Kaurava army. That noise became tumultuous. It was Tumulaha, Abhavat Tumulaha. Now, in the last 14th shloka, the shloka that we did in the last class, Tata Shvetair Hayar Yukte Mahati Syandane Stitau Madhavah Pandavas Chaiva Divyau Shankau Pradatmatuhu. The main characters, Krishna and Arjuna, are introduced here, and they are said to be seated in that grand chariot with white horses, and they had also indicated their readiness for the war by blowing their conches. So we had completed until shloka number 14. Now we'll go to shloka number 15. Now it's all Sanjaya Vacha only. Panchajanyam Hrishikeshah Devadattam Dhananjayah Poundram Dadmau Mahashankam Bhimakarma Vrikodarah Panchajanyam Hrishikeshah Devadattam Dhananjayah Poundram Dadmau Mahashankam Bhimakarma Vrikodarah. So you can see Vyasa, when he is writing this Mahabharata, or when in this part of Bhagavad Gita at least, his heart is towards the Pandavas. When Duryodhana's army, when they blew the conches, trumpets and all those things, he did not mention anything by their names. He just said they all made a lot of noise. Tumulaha abhavanta. But when the Pandavas are blowing their conches, Vyasacharya is giving the names of their conches also along with it. So he starts now with Hrishikesha. He says Hrishikesha. Hrishikesha, as you know, is the name for Bhagavan Krishna. But Hrishikesha means master of Hrishikam. Hrishikam means sense organs. So he is Ishaha Hrishikesha. Ishaha Hrishikam. So Ishaha means Ishvara or master of Hrishikam, which is the sense organs. So Hrishikesha means the master of sense organs. Bhagavan Krishna is actually going to soon study the mind of Arjuna. So he is in that sense master of sense organs also. So Vyasa is using the term Hrishikesha. And then he says Panchajanyam Hrishikesha. Panchajanyam Hrishikesha Pradadmau. Pradadmau we can say. Pradadmau is basically to blow. So Hrishikesha or Bhagavan Krishna blew the conch named Panchajanyam. And behind all these conches and all these names, there are a lot of Puranic stories. In fact, for this Panchajanyam, there is a Rakshasa who had got, who had become this Panchajanyam. He had become this Panchajanyam. One of the Asuras there had actually become his conch after fighting with Bhagavan. So Bhagavan Krishna, Hrishikesha, one who is actually the master of sense organs, who understands Arjuna's mind very well, he blew the conch of Pancha. He blew the conch called Panchajanya. Then we have Devadattam Dhananjayah. Again, we'll have to supply this word Pradadmau, blue. So Devadattam Dhananjayah means, Dhananjaya is Arjuna. He is the title given to Arjuna. Dhananjayah. Dhananjaya means one who has amassed or acquired plenty of wealth. Dhanam. He has acquired plenty of wealth. In fact, he was a very prosperous person. All these titles of Arjuna are important because Arjuna, as I said in the first initial introduction for the chapter 1 itself, Arjuna was the most materially successful person in the planet at that point of time. He had wealth. He was one of the most handsome person around. He was a very strong person. He had name, he had fame, he had wealth, and he had dharma. Everything was with him. It was not that he was a bad guy. He was actually a very nice person. He was the most successful person, and he had even gone to heaven and come back. Because Indra had asked Arjuna to assist him in one of the battles. Arjuna had gone there, assisted him in his battle, and Indra had actually presented him chariot. So Arjuna had all the things that an ordinary person can ever wish for. He was materially the most successful person. And yet, we find in this that Arjuna gets into a crisis and he is not able to solve the problem. And from that we come to know, that material success, it cannot be a remedy for human sorrow. If material success could have been a remedy, then Arjuna should not have faced any problem. But then Arjuna is facing the problem. So here Dhananjayah means that, Arjuna, who is actually materially successful, one who has amassed so much of wealth. Now we are introducing that person, and that person is actually going to get into a sorrow. We can work for prosperity, we can work for family, we should work for children, or all those things. We should be striving for a comfortable life and all those things, but the reality is that those things will not help us to solve the inner, deeper problems of life. And what are the inner, deeper problems of life? It's not that I'm not able to get a job, I'm not able to actually do what I want to do. Those are not the problems. The inner, deeper problems, if we go further, deeper into the actual root cause behind all those issues that we face in life, are attachment, dependence, fear, sorrow, on all those things. So that is why it is indicated Arjuna is Dhananjayah. Dhananjayah, most wealthy person. Dhanam Jayati, Dhananjayah. Sarvatra Dhanam Prapnoti. So that person who has acquired wealth from everywhere, he blew the conch of Devadattam. Devadattam Dadmau. He blew the conch of Devadattam. Poundram Dadmau Mahashankam. Bhima Karma Vrikodarah. So Vrikodarah, Vrikodarah is nothing but Bhima, is another name for Bhima. Vrikodarah, why that name? The one whose stomach is like that of a wolf. Vrikasya udaram iva yasya saha Vrikodarah. He's got a Vrikasya udaram. Udaram means stomach. He's got a stomach like that of a wolf. If you see, the wolf can eat a lot. The wolf can eat as much as like a lion. It is a glutton. It eats, but even when it eats, the stomach is always flat. There will be no bulge at all. And the same thing was true with Bhima. Bhima was like a glutton. He can eat anything, how much ever you feed him, it will not be enough. But he never had a belly. He had a flat stomach. He had a fit stomach. And therefore he is given the title called Vrikodarah. Some people are genetically blessed with that. Some people, even when they eat a little, they put on a lot of weight. But understand, with regards to Bhima, he was not just a glutton. He, proportional to the eating that he had also many exploits. He has done some great deeds. In fact, deeds that are considered terrible. And therefore, there is another adjective given to Bhima here. Bhima karma Vrikodarah. Bhima karma means terrible deeds. Karma means deed. Bhima means here Bhayankara karma. So terrible or Bhayankar, massive deeds. So what are the Bhima karma? We would have read it in Mahabharata. He has destroyed many Rakshasas. He can actually, although with multitude of weapons he can fight, he can also fight with rocks, trees and all those things. Anything around him can become a weapon. Those things that not ordinary mortals can do. So he was Bhima karma Vrikodarah. And Bhima karma also, what was the Mahashankam? What is the Mahashankam that he blew? The big conch. His conch was not small. Bhima's conch was huge. Mahashankam. What was the name of them? Poundram. Poundram Dadmau. The great huge conch he blew. So that is Sloka number 15. So as you see, until now only Bhishma's, on the side of Kauravas, only Bhishma blowing the conch was given by Vyasacharya. But now in this side, on the Pandavas side, he is now named the people who are blowing the conches along with the names of the conches. Panchajanyam Hrishikeshah, Devadattam Dhananjayah, Poundram Bhima. Now we will move on to Sloka number 16. Ananta Vijayam Raja Kunti Putro Yudhisthira Nakula Sahadevascha Sugoshamani Pushpakau. Ananta Vijayam Raja Kunti Putro Yudhisthira Nakula Sahadevascha Sugoshamani Pushpakau. So Yudhisthira Ananta Vijayam Dadmau. So we'll have to say. And Yudhisthira has got another name also. Is called Dharmaputra. Why is called? Because he was very firm in warfare, powerful in warfare. That Yudhisthira. Yudhi means war. Yudhisthira means one who is very powerful in battle. So that's why he is given the title Yudhisthira. And Yudhisthira, another adjective is used here, Kunti Putro. He is the son of Kunti. So, and not only he is Kunti Putra, Yudhisthira, he is also Raja. So, Ananta Vijayam Raja Kunti Putro Yudhisthira. And what he did, he blew the conch of Ananta Vijayam. So the name of the conch of Yudhisthira is Ananta Vijayam. Ananta Vijayam means what? Ever successful. Vijay means successful. Ananta Vijayam, ever successful. So it brings only success. It never brings any defeat. And what about Nakula Sahadeva? So the entire Pandavas are being covered here. Nakula Sahadevascha Sugosha Manipushpakau. They blew their conches, and their conches also have got beautiful names. Sugosha Manipushpakau. Sugosha is the conch of Nakula. Sugosha. And then Manipushpaka is the conch of Sahadeva. So Vyasa through Sanjaya is giving the list of the main people in the Pandava army who blew their conches. So next 17 and 18. 17 and 18 we will do it together. Kashyascha Parameshvasah Shikandi cha Maharatah Drishtadhyumno Viratascha Satyakischa Parajitah Drupado Draupadeyascha Sarvashah Prithivipate Saubhadrascha Mahabahuhu Shankan Dadmau Pratak Kashyascha Parameshvasah Shikandi cha Maharatah Drishtadhyumno Viratascha Satyakischa Parajitah Drupado Draupadeyascha Sarvashah Prithivipate Saubhadrascha Mahabahuhu Shankan Dadmau Pratak. So again, more names, more conches. Kashya. Kashyaha. Kashyaha means the king of Kashi. Kashyaha. He is a very famous king, very powerful king. He was already named in one of the slokas earlier. Kashya, Kashi, king of Kashi. Now he is a great archer. He is a great archer. Therefore, he is being given another adjective is Parameshvasaha. Parameshvasaha. Eshvasaha means the bow. And Parame Eshvasaha. So he has a great bow. One who has a great, he blew his conch. Then Shikandi. Shikandi cha Maharataha. Shikandi, we know Shikandi has got, he has a special bow. I mean, he has taken a special boon. He is specially born to destroy Bhishma. And he also succeeds in that, Shikandi. Shikandi is also not an ordinary person. Shikandi is a Maharatha. He is a great warrior. And what he does, he also blew his conch. All these people are on the side of Pandavas. Then Drishtadhyumna. Drishtadhyumno Viratascha. So Drishtadhyumna blew his conch. Then Virataha. Virataha means the king of Virata. The king of Virata, he blew his conch. Then Satyaki, the ever successful Satyaki. Satyaki is Arjuna's Shishya. He blew his conch. And Aparajitaha. Satyaki is given that adjective Aparajitaha, the one who cannot be defeated. It's called as Satyaki. That is on Sloka 17. Now Sloka 18, if we say Drupado Draupade Yascha. Drupadaha is the father of Draupadi. And then Draupade Yascha. Draupadeyaha means a plural. So the sons of Draupadi. So Draupadi had 5 sons. One from each Pandava, and those 5 sons are called Draupadeyascha. So Draupade is sons of Draupadi. And then they are also great warriors. And they, along with Saubhadraha is basically the son of Subhadra. The son of Subhadra is Abhimanyu. So Abhimanyu, the son of Subhadra, and Abhimanyu is given a special title, Mahabahuhu. Saubhadrascha Mahabahuhu. He's given the title of the mighty Subhadra's son, the mighty Abhimanyu. So if you really look at it, most of the places, if you leave, Kunti Putra, Saubhadraha, or you say Draupadeyaha. If you see in our culture, the mother or the female is given more prominence. Sometimes we also use say Panduputra. We also say Panduputra, Kuru Vamsha and all those things. But the mother is also given equal importance in those days. So we shouldn't be saying that our culture did not have any importance for the women. So here, Mahabahuhu, Saubhadra, there is basically Ambhimanyu. They all Shankan Dadmau Pratak Shankan. They blew the conches. Dadmau blew the conches. Pratak means distinctly. Everybody's conch was heard distinctly, and it was coming from Sarvasha. It was coming from all directions. And here there is a told Prithivi Pate. Prithivi Pate here refers to, Prithivi Pate means the father of the earth. Prithivi Pate, or in other words, the king of the soil. The king of the soil. So here Sanjaya is addressing Dhritarashtra here. So he says, O Dhritarashtra, Drupadau, which is Drupada, Draupadeyascha, which is the 5 sons of Draupadi, and Abhimanyu, and all these people, they blew their conches distinctly from all directions. And he is basically telling, Sanjaya is addressing Dhritarashtra here. Now, after all this has happened, so there was only one conch that was blown first, and then the whole army the Kaurava army started doing the beating their drums and blowing their conches, which came as a noise. Whereas here, if you see, Vyasa says it comes as Pratak. Every conch sound is coming distinctly. So it's not coming through as a noise, but it is coming distinctly, and everything is coming loud as well. Now what has happened after this, or how this blowing of conches by the Pandava army, how is it going to impact the Kauravas? We will see in the coming slokas. We will see how because Sanjaya is now going to describe the mind of the Kauravas on hearing these sounds created through these conches. So we'll go to the next sloka. Sagosho Dhartarashtranam Hridayani Vyadarayat Nabascha Prithivim Chaiva Tumulo Vyanunadayan. Sagosho Dhartarashtranam Hridayani Vyadarayat Nabascha Prithivim Chaiva Tumulo Vyanunadayan. So first we will go to the second line. The second line, it says Nabascha Prithivim Chaiva Tumulo Vyanunadayan. Vyanunadayan means resounding, echoing. Vyanunadayan, we can say reverberating. It's huge that when the whole place, actually there is a huge noise or echo that comes up, or it comes up all over. Vyanunadayan, resounding throughout. Where? Nabascha. Nabaha means the sky. So it is resounding through the sky. And not just the sky, but also the Prithivi. Nabascha Prithivim Chaiva. So the sound is reverberating through the earth as well as through the sky. What is reverberating? Which is reverberating? We haven't described it here. It only says Vyandunadayan, which is reverberating. What is reverberating? Tumulaha Goshaha. Tumulaha Goshaha. The tumultuous noise from the Shankanada of the Pandava army. It actually resounds through the sky and the earth. And what does it do? Not only it comes in as a huge sound and reverberating through this earth and sky, it affects, it pierces the hearts. Vyadarayat hridayani. Vyadarayat. It pierced where? The hearts. Hridayani. It pierced the hearts of whom? The Ardharashtranam, of the Kauravas. So the Kaurava army was frightened with the sound that came from the conches that were blown by the Pandavas. So resounding through the sky and the earth, this tumultuous noise pierced the hearts of the Kauravas. They started fearing even before the war started. So already we know that Duryodhana was frightened. Now hearing this sound, his fear actually increased. And this fear increased because of his diffidence, because of his, his nature, because of his adharma. As I said, whenever we are doing any adharma, we will naturally have a fear in our mind. When we lie, we will have a fear whether we will get caught. When we do something that we should not have done, then there will always be a fear in our mind. What happens if we get caught? That comes along with adharma. That is how dharma and adharma works. So it has pierced the. And right now, at that moment, what happens? We will see. Sloka number 20. Ata vyavastitan drishtva dhartarashtran kapidvajah pravritte shastra sampate dhanurudyamya pandavah. Ata vyavastitan drishtva Dhartarashtran kapidvajah pravritte shastra sampate dhanurudyamya pandavah. Then we will take the sloka 21, first line alone. Hrishikesham tada vakyam idamaha mahipate. So sloka 20 and the first line of sloka 21. So up to 19th verse or up to the 19th sloka is the first phase. The first phase is basically where the army is all introduced, Duryodhana's mindset is described, then Bhishma starting basically indicating that the Kauravas are ready for war, and then the Pandavas have also indicated that they are ready for the war by blowing their conches. So this is the first phase. Now 20th sloka is where the turning point is going to happen, and the turning point is going to happen. Therefore, Sanjaya refers to that turning point as Atha. Atha. In Sanskritam, Atha means it indicates either a change, either in the topic or change in the context. So, in movies, there will be a change in the background score. Whereas in words, we will have to mention that. And then Vyasacharya uses the word Atha. What is the present situation? Kauravas have blown their conches, Pandavas have blown their conches. Both teams and armies are ready. Now indication is ready, it was all over. Battle has to start. The shooting of arrows must start. Therefore, Vyasacharya says, Pravritte Shastra Sampate. In the second line of this 20th sloka, he says, Pravritte Shastra Sampate. Shastra Sampate means discharge of arrows. discharge of arrows pravritte was to be commenced. So the battle has to be started. The situation was ready for the release of arrows, but at that moment, at that nick of the moment, a situation arises. So just when he was about to, or when he is supposed to release the arrow, a flash of thought comes to Arjuna's mind. The flash of thought is the turning point. If the flash of thought hadn't happened, there wouldn't be any Gita Upadesha. We wouldn't be sitting and listening to all these things. What happens? Arjuna, just when he was supposed to release his arrow, he feels that he should, or rather, let me say, he basically spoke the following words. Hrishikesham tada vakyam idamaha mahipate. Hrishikesham tada vakyam. He spoke the following words to Hrishikesham, which is Krishna. Idamaha mahipate. Mahipate is again refers to Dhritarashtra here. Sanjaya basically referring to Dhritarashtra. Oh Dhritarashtra, Pandava, Pandava here refers to Arjuna. Arjuna, where is he sitting? He is sitting in a chariot, and the chariot is what? Kapidvajaha. It has got the flag of a monkey. Basically, Kapidvajaha, Arjuna, as you know, had a monkey emblem in his flag. That monkey represents Anjaneya. And we all knew Anjaneya is Vayuputra. Bhima is also another Vayuputra. So in that sense, Bhima and Anjaneya are brothers. And as you know, Anjaneya or Hanuman is a Chiranjeevi. So he was there in the Ramayana Kalam, he was also there in the Treta, Dwapara, he will also be in the Kali Yuga, and he will continue to exist. So before the war, actually Bhima made a request to Anjaneya or Hanuman, and he said, you should come to this battle and you should bless us so that we get our victory. Then Anjaneya, he said that I will be in the form of an emblem on your flag and I will bless you. So they say, people say that, it was not just Arjuna who listened to Bhagavad Gita, but it was also Anjaneya who would listen to it. So Anjaneya, in that sense, he had listened to Ramopadesha as well as Krishnopadesha. In fact, there is a commentary on the Gita by Anjaneya. They say it is Paisashcha Bhashyam. Paisashcha Bhashyam is one who does not have any physical form. So he existed in invisible, Sukshma form. He heard the Gita and wrote a commentary. Hanumat Paisashcha Bhashyam, it says. So Kapidvajaha, Pandavaha, the monkey-bannered Arjuna, Drishtva Dhartarashtran. Dhartarashtran refers to the Kauravas. So Drishtva, he saw the Kauravas. Vyavastitan, he saw them arrayed, he saw them in the formation. Arjuna saw all the Kauravas. As he said, Dhartarashtran is referred here. Dhartarashtran is the right term for the Kauravas. It is not Kauravas. Kauravas, as I said, it refers to both Pandavas and Kauravas. It is because the Kuru Vamsha is common to both Kauravas and Pandavas, or the Dhartarashtrans and the Pandavas. So Arjuna saw them, and then he says, Udmaya Dhanuhu, Dhanurudmaya. Dhanurudmaya means Udmaya Dhanuhu. He basically raised the bow. And he said the following words, or spoke the following words. Idam Vakyam Hrishikesham. He spoke the following words to Bhagavan Krishna. What did he speak? We will see Sloka number 21, second line. We will do sloka number 21, second line, 22 and 23 together. Arjuna uvacha senayor ubhayor madhye ratam stapaya mechuta yavaddeta niriksheham yoddukaman vyavastitan kairmaya sahayodhavyam asmin ranasamudhyame योत्स्यमानानवेक्षेहं यये तत्र समागताः धार्तराष्ट्रस्य दुर्बुद्धेः युद्धे प्रियचिकीर्षवः. अर्जुन उवाच सेनयोरुभयोर्मध्ये रथं स्थापयमेच्युत यावद्देतान्निरीक्षेऽहं योद्धुकामानवस्थितान् कैर्मया सह योद्धव्यम् अस्मिन् रणसमुद्यमे योत्स्यमानान् अवेक्षेऽहं यये तत्र समागताः धार्तराष्ट्रस्य दुर्बुद्धेः युद्धे प्रियचिकीर्षवः. So Arjuna spoke the following words. Arjuna said, so from 21 to 23, this sloka, it is Arjuna's order. Arjuna's order, or we can say Arjuna's command. Arjuna's command to Bhagavan. Bhagavan is the driver, so he has to obey. So Arjuna says, Arjuna uvacha, सेनयोर उभयोर मध्ये रथम स्थापय मे अच्युत. Achyuta is again another beautiful name for Bhagavan Krishna. Achyuta. Achyuta has got both religious significance, moral significance, as well as philosophical significance. Achyuta means unfailing. One who doesn't fail, infallible. One who never fails is called as Achyuta. That's why in Sankalpa, whenever we want to do take any Sankalpa, the first thing we do is when we do Achyuta Uvacha. Achyuta Ananta. Achyuta, we don't want to fail, and therefore we say in the Sankalpa also Achyuta. Because Bhagavan is omniscient, omnipotent, and therefore he is also Achyuta, he can never fail. So here in the Mahabharata war, the Pandavas trusted Bhagavan, and they found their trustworthy also because Bhagavan helped them. That's why we say in the Gita Dhyana Slokams, we say Kaivartakaha Keshavaha. He will not let us down. Kaivartakaha Keshavaha. When Draupadi was in crisis, she sought the help of these 5 mighty Pandavas. They couldn't help. She sought the help of Drona, Bhishma. Nobody could help until she surrendered to Bhagavan. And then when she surrendered to Bhagavan, help came. So Bhagavan is always the only one who is trustworthy. And therefore he is given the title of Achyuta. Achyutaya Namaha, Anantaya Namaha, Govindaya Namaha. We start our Sankalpam with these 3 names. And we start with Achyuta because we don't want to fail. When we take up the Sankalpa, we don't want to fail. So Achyuta Namaha, Anantaya Namaha, Govindaya Namaha. The significance of this on the spiritual side is Achyuta is one who is ever infinite. One who is never infinite will not fall into samsara. So Achyuta means ever liberated. One who does not take birth in this world. Only if there is a janma, there is a mrityu. Bhagavan is Achyuta. Bhagavan in the form of Krishna, we will not say he took a Janma, we will say he took an avatar. There is a difference between Janma and Avatara. We will see that difference when we come to the 4th chapter. What is the difference between a birth and a avatar? So he says, Hey Achyuta, Stapaya Ratham. Ratham Stapaya. Me Ratham Stapaya. Arjuna is commanding Bhagavan. He says, place my chariot. Where does he want the chariot to be placed? Senayor Ubayor Madhye. Senayor Ubayor Madhye. In between the two armies. So the Kauravas army is a little bit far away. I am not able to see their faces properly. So now place my chariot in between. So take my chariot, go halfway around, place my chariot in between the two armies. So we can say Stenayor Ubhayor Madhye Ratham Stapaya Me Achyuta. So it is a command, you can say it's a request. So that is Sloka number 21. 22. Yavad etan niriksheham. Yavad etan yodukaman avastitan. Yavad etan niriksheham. So that I can very clearly see. So that aham niriksheham. Aham niriksheham means I see. Aham niriksheham. Yavat. Till what? Etan avastitan. Those who are assembled. So I can see them clearly. I see till I see those who are assembled. Who are assembled here? Yodukaman. Yodukaman means one who has come for a desire to fight. So let me see who are the warriors. Let me see them. So Yodukaman avastitan. Yavad etan niriksheham. Saha Kaihi. This Yodukaman with a desire to fight. Let me see them. Saha Kaihi. With whom? Saha Kaihi means with whom. Yodavyam. Maya Yodavyam. Let me see with whom I should fight. So he not only wants to see just the army, but he wants to see the individuals with whom I should fight. Asmin Rana Samudyame. In this event of war. Asmin. In this Rana Samudyame. In this event of war. I want to see who are assembled with a desire to fight, with whom I should fight. So that is what he says in the Sloka number 22. Now Sloka number 23. Yosyamana naveksheham. Yosyamana naveksheham. Aham aveksha. Again aveksha. Aveksha means, there he says niriksha, nirikshe. Here he says avekshe. I wish to see. Aham avekshe. I wish to see. Ete. I want to see. Ete tatra samagata. Etetra samagataha. So there ete means those. Ye samagataha. Samagataha means who are assembled. Again, who are assembled. Avastitan we saw. Here samagataha. Both means assembled. And then he says Yotsiyamanan. There he said Yodukaman. Yodukaman means the desire to fight. Yotsiyamanan here means who are eager to fight. So I wish to see those who are assembled. Atra here Yotsiyamanan, who are eager to fight. I want to have a clear view of them. And then he says, Yuddhe Priya Chikirshavah. So he says, let me see the Priya Chikirshavah means who want to fulfill the desire. Who wants to fulfill the desire of, so the question is, what is the desire, whose desire, and who wants to fulfill? Who wants to fulfill? Basically the people who have assembled there to fight. Whose desire is it? It is the desire of Duryodhana or the Kauravas to fight this war. So who want to fulfill the desire of Kauravas? So I want to have a view of them. Basically I want to see the allies of the Kauravas. I want to see them who are there to fight this war. Arjuna does not say, you see, Priya Chikirshavah means who wants to fulfill the desire of Duryodhana. Arjuna does not say the word Hita Chikirshavah. Priya Hitam. There are two things. Whenever we say truth has to be said, truth is only when it is said in a Priyam manner. If it is not in a Priyam, it is harsh manner, it is not considered to be truth. And it should be Hitam. It should do good for the other person. If it is going to be doing bad for the other person, then it is not considered truth, although it may be factual. So here Arjuna does not say Hita Kirshava. Hita Chikirshavah means one who has come here to do good for Duryodhana. He doesn't say that. He says one who has come here to fulfill the desire of Duryodhana. Not that it is right. So that is what he says. Hitam is different from Priyam. What is good for me need not be what I like. So let me see the allies of Dhritarashtra, Dhartarashtras. Dhartarashtrasya Durbuddhe. Arjuna's blood is boiling when he refers to Dhartarashtra. He doesn't just refer to them as Dhartarashtra. He says Dhartarashtra Durbuddhe. He is extremely angry because the Kauravas have done so much harm to the Pandavas. They have been always jealous of them. They have been trying to destroy them using several methods. So Arjuna is extremely angry and he says Durbuddhe. Durbuddhe means Dushta Buddhi, Adharmika Buddhi. So right now, this is very important. What Arjuna refers to here as to the Duryodanas here, or the Dhritarashtras there. He says Dushta Buddhi, Adharmika Buddhi. He does not see this war as a war between relatives. He sees that this is a war between Dharma and Adharma. And he says, I want to see who are there fighting for the desire of Duryodhana, who have assembled here to fight for fulfilling the desire of Duryodhana. He doesn't say, here there are those people who have come here to do good for people. And he has no doubt that he has to destroy them. He wants to see them. Let me see them once before I fight them. So his intellect is ruling his decision right now. He has got a sound intellect now. The mind is not under any kind of emotional stress. His judgments are right. And he is talking straight. And he views Dharma to be more important than relations. Any kind of relationship is only temporary. Whatever be that relationship. Father, son, mother, daughter, husband, wife. Whatever be that relationship, it's all temporary. Human beings, we are subject to, for that matter, any jiva is subject to birth and death. The only thing that is sashvata, the only thing that is going to be there always is dharma. So if there has to be a choice for any human being to choose between relationship or dharma, they will have to choose dharma. We should be clear. We shouldn't be supporting somebody for the sake of they being our relation. We will have to choose dharma. That's why in we have our story, right? In South we have this Manunidhi Cholan. His own son had done adharma, and the Raja said, whether it is my son or daughter, I don't care, my relations or somebody else's relation, I don't mind. Whoever has done adharma, he has to be punished. So when his own son had actually killed a calf, he basically got his chariot to run over his own son and kill him. So that the dharma is restored. So Arjuna is right now very clear. And he says, Dhartarashtraya durbuddhehe. As of now, right now, until this time, Arjuna's intellect is still strong. The mind has not overpowered Arjuna's intellect. Mind is important. Sentiments are important. Emotions are important. They too are gift from Ishvara. But what we have to understand is, if the sentiments or emotions start to cloud our mind, or rather cloud our intellect, if they become strong, they cloud our intellect. And once the intellect is clouded, then our judgment becomes wrong. We will be doing all kinds of wrong judgments. Once the emotions cloud the intellect, that state of mind is called delusion. Moham, we say. Mohaha. Mohaha is a state when the emotions have overpowered the intellect. And in that deluded mind, we will be taking all kinds of wrong judgments. We will be seeing dharma as adharma, adharma as dharma. Remember, Vedanta, when we say we are not against emotions, but we are only saying it has to be right emotions. We saw even in chapter 16, we saw Jnani as somebody to be one with emotions. What emotions? We say Maitra Karuna Yevacha. We saw that in 16th chapter. Maitra Karuna Yevacha. So a Jnani also has emotions, but the right emotions. Arjuna knew at the start of this war that he is going to fight his own kith and kin. He is going to fight his own relatives. He is going to fight Arjuna. Arjuna is going to fight Bhishma, Drona, Karna, Duryodhana, and all those people. He knew that. At that time, he was very clear that dharma, upholding dharma was the reason why he is going to fight. Protection of dharma is his duty, and therefore he has to fight. And he also understands that any war is going to create destruction. After all, he has fought so many wars. Ahimsa cannot be a virtue in the warfare, in the war field. So Arjuna is aware of all these things. But at the same time, we also know that Bhagavan in chapter 13 also preaches ahimsa. Ahimsa satyam ashuddha. Ahimsa is a paramo dharma. Ahimsa, paramo dharma, we have seen. But we also discussed when ahimsa, who should follow ahimsa, or who can do himsa, when can they do himsa. We already saw that when we did the vichara on ahimsa. So the values are there, but there are also exceptions we should know. So here Arjuna is just about to see the army. What he does after seeing the army, whom does he see? We will see all that in the next class. Any questions or comments? Okay.
I have.
Yes.
Yeah. Last class recording you have not uploaded in this.
Yes, I realize that. I will upload it as soon as possible.
Thank you.
Okay. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. We'll see it in next class. Shri Guru Bhyo Namaha.
Hari Om.